Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kyusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of events have happened. We had Deku. Deku, he discovered exactly why the hybrids were on Earth. After he killed a hybrid commander, he took a piece of its body. And then, he had the Omnitrix scan it for abnormalities. He wanted to at least get this thing put in the Watch's database. And the best way of saying it, fight fire with fire. And Izuku found out that these creatures lack genetic diversity, and because of that their species is very close to dying. They are sick. They are infertile. And fact is, their numbers are dwindling. And Izuku, it's hard to see these people as an enemy. They want help, but they're not asking for it. They're trying to help themselves by force. They are willing to annihilate his people to save their own. If they came to him as an ally, he would have helped them. But after everything they've done, it's hard to justify saving them to himself. Now, Mina also looked into the Enidite file after Izuku figured out that her name was the actual password. If she was an Enidite, then that might be her name. Well, her name should be the password. It just, the idea that went through his mind whenever he thought of this was a few things. But the last thing he expected to see was her grandfather talking in a video. And even seeing his own. He saw Ghost in that video. Him and Mina talked. And Bakugo, he pulled up with a bottle of alcohol, talking about a few things. Because these two, they were both going through the motions of seeing their grandparents who've passed. And Mina herself was having her very own identity crisis. But with her best friend here to help her, things have been easier. And the two, they went inside. As right now the crew of the ship, they want to relax. They want to figure things out. And right now everybody, they are playing games while they do go through the process of getting plastered. And currently there actually is Izuku, who does sit there on the couch and watching the TV. Currently, Mina with a controller in her hands, playing, as actually is Bakugo, who also does have the second controller. Mina talking about it. He's not going to win. This is her game. Plus, the fact is, if he does win, she will take another shot. And Bakugo, he has his own smirk, trying to tell Mina, oh hell no, he is not losing to her. Besides, Earth games, they're very primitive compared to some of the stuff he has played. I mean, hell, if they ever go out into space, he'll take them to a real place to play games. They got VR simulators unlike anything the plumber's ever seen. And Deku, he doesn't someone watch the screen. Currently, Kai sitting next to him as the two, they hold onto the controllers. And Deku, he doesn't see that Mina, her attitude, has gotten better. It's been about 2 hours. And all of them, they have been slowly chipping away at that bottle Bakugo has brought. Though, while this has been happening, Izuku has gone through a lot of information in his head. If these creatures, the hybrids, are supposed to be his greatest enemy, his ultimate enemy, it means a bit. I mean, there's what he remembered his future self saying. The first time Earth was invaded. First time isn't the only time. There will be more in the future. There will be more attempts. But are they hybrid? Are they attempts the hybrid has made? Izuku has had an idea. There's a lot his future self has probably not done, because it's things Izuku wouldn't do. Take risk. High risk. High reward. The plumbers are still a problem. The only ones that he really would trust are Melissa and David, along with even Kai. And that's three of possibly hundreds of people. If they're compromised, they've got to figure that all out. They've got to find out the best way to defend Earth. And Izuku, he hates to admit it. He's thought more about this. The timeline, he's pretty sure, has already changed. And realizing that now, going through his old notebook, it means a lot. The first time his older self was stuck as Alien X, he said it lasted for hours. Izuku was stuck for days. And this means something already. Somehow his older self did something different, and he didn't. He made a mistake. So, if that's the case, he needs to figure out what he did wrong. If he can talk to Bellicus and Serena, maybe he can destroy the hybrids. Come to terms with them. Talk them down or find some sort of middle ground. But it's hard to have a bargaining chip when he has to go to them. They can't come to him. The moment he transforms into Alien X, it's practically a doomed fate if he can't get it right. And Izuku, he's not sure. If he can find a way to control it, it would mean a bit. But convincing them to destroy the hybrids, they're already practically 1 foot in the grave. Bellicus might be for it, but Serena, he's still not sure. He can try and find all the evil they've done, the civilizations they've destroyed, the people they've conquered, and the amount of death and blood on their hands. But that, he's not sure. At the snap of a finger, at the simple idea and thought, they can undo all of it. And speaking of that, Izuku, he's even thought about trying to look into why Quarks disappeared. But if Izuku brought them back, if there is an invasion, people could defend themselves. Not just that, reveal aliens to the actual world. Let reinforcements come. I mean, bring back dead races that the hybrids have destroyed and amass a full-scale fleet. But many of the things he's thinking of, it wouldn't work. And that's Izuku. Take a look up and seeing that right now, Bakugo lost to Mina, the Game Master of tonight. And currently, Bakugo was on stand. Him gonna turn and hand the controller over to Deku, talking about it. Currently, Deku standing up and sitting down next to Mina. Bakugo plopping onto the couch and talking about it. He still thinks that she cheated. No, I didn't. I'm just better. Her gonna turn, sticking her tongue out at Bakugo. And Bakugo, he's pretty annoyed. She's got magic powers. And she's got, apparently, from what he heard from Kai, anodite abilities. And Deku, he doesn't want to sit there. Mina turning her head and getting a bit of a feel of Izuku. Izuku has an idea forming in his brain. And it's sort of heavy. Though, it also doesn't concern her. Currently, her turning her head and looking at him. Getting the feel for this. He's thinking about Alien X. She's pretty sure that's what it is. Either that or his grandpa. And she can't blame him. Currently, Deku going to press a button. Mina turning her head, looking back at the game. Hey! Her getting a bit annoyed. Talking about how she wasn't ready. And Deku tells her. They learned in training to take every combat advantage possible. And right now, he did so. Always be ready. And let's not turn. And Mina looks at him a bit annoyed, looking back at the game. And Izuku, he does come out on top. Now, Deku, he did have fun, and currently Mina, she does his own turn. Her going to stand up and talk about it. Okay, so what should they do now? Hmm? What do you mean? Well, I'm just saying. We've been playing the game for a while. Do you guys want to do something else? I mean, I just don't want to do this thing all night. Hmm? What are you talking about? I'm saying, Bakugo, we're all supposed to be having fun. And as far as I'm aware, me beating your guys' asses at the game isn't fun. You're just mad because you finally lost. You lost your streak. No, I'm not. I'm just saying we should do something else. A movie? We're out in the woods, right? I mean, we could have a fire. Them turning to Deku. And Deku, he was just gonna bring his hands up, talking about how he could use swamp fire to make one, I guess. Hmm? You think that's good? I mean, it's possible. Hmm. It's not a bad idea. Right. So, I'll go get a few things. Bakugo won't stand. Talking about it. Okay, well, he'll go out into the woods and find some rocks. If he's using swamp fire to make the actual fire, it better not freaking smell. And if he's gonna try and make the chairs out of vines, they still carry that freaking smell. Hell, it's gross. And Runabako would turn. And we saw it walk away. And Deku would turn, turning off the consoles. Him gonna stand and sit down on the couch. Him gonna turn and grab his own drink. Him taking a swig of it. As for the two to leave the room, Mina would also turn, asking Zuko if he's okay. Hmm? Not really. You? Um, no. Just thinking. I'm sure you are. You found out you're an Aedite. Yeah, it does make me question it, though. Hmm? Question it? A few things, I guess. It always made me curious, though. Well, it's been making me curious. I've been trying to distract myself a little bit, honestly, and I don't know. Why didn't the Omnitrix scan me? Hmm? Maybe for the same reason it didn't scan Kendo. Mina turning to Izuku. And while she doesn't like him bringing up his ex, she does sort of get the idea. The Omnitrix didn't scan Kendo because she was half human. It didn't scan her because she's about a fourth human? Well, her mom would be 50% and she would be half of 50, so yeah, I guess 25%. Huh. More than a fifth of her blood is alien. And the thought just going across Mina's mind. Deku asking if she is good. Hmm? Still thinking. I'm sure you are. Though, what are you gonna do if your grandma shows up? I don't know. Ask her questions, maybe. Try and figure a few of these things out. Though, I'm just. I don't know what to say to that, honestly. It doesn't seem like a possibility. You sure? Yeah. Though, what about. Never mind. How's your mom been doing? Oh, still dealing with a few things. Right. Hergus would sit there, and Izuku finds this to be a little awkward. Deku knows she likes him, and Mina knows a few things about Izuku. The two are in a complicated spot. They've been friends since childhood, and that only got more and more so as the years went on. They trained as plumbers, they work as a team, they're very compatible when it comes to teamwork. They listen to each other, they're partners. And now it's awkward. They're both trying to figure this out. Mina doesn't want to just push Izuku into another relationship. And Deku feels like it's a bit too soon to get into another relationship. If it's gonna happen, it'll happen. But trying to push the other person, they don't really want to do. And Deku will his own turn. Mina looking up as Deku just her to ask, So, should they go pick up some food? Hmm? I don't know. Maybe? Maybe more soda or what did Bakugo call it? Mixer? Maybe, maybe. Though I am craving a good burger. Ooh, actually, I could go for some nachos. Oh my god, nachos do sound good. Hmm. Wait, hang on. Do you think that we should probably prank Kai? Pranker? What do you mean? Well, I'm just saying, Kai's been a little on edge. So, a little scare could help her ease up a bit. I think she might have a thing for Bakugo. Really? Yeah. I remember whenever we were kids and that whole Yellow Duchy thing. That was definitely a thing. Honestly, now that I think about it, other than some of our training, we don't really hang out like this a lot anymore. Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. But what about that time we were camping? Never mind, that counted as survival training. Yeah, we had to eat those weird blue slug things. Uh, they tasted sort of similar to some of Gramps' cooking. I mean, yeah, but do you really miss some of those things? Like the beetle chili? I miss the frog legs, actually. Thought about trying to find a recipe for them. Oh my god. What? The rust bucket? What about it? It's still in Grandpa's lot. My mom never went to go pick it up. Do you want to go get it? Maybe, but maybe tomorrow. Though, I'll do a few things. Maybe head out, scare Kai. Deku's gonna smile. And we actually have Kai. Kai has a lot going through her head. It's nice to be able to just sit back and relax for a minute. See everybody try to de stress and deflate. The aura in the room, as Mina would put it, it's not good, not pleasant. It's full of negative energy. Yeah. Though, it does make her think. She wants to contact her grandpa, talk to him, maybe see about getting him out here. He has gotten older, and he still might be retired from the plumbers, but trying to help out, that could mean a bit. I mean, with Ken gone, the old timers are dying out. Though it also is a bit of a concern for her. If she brings her grandpa into this, is he gonna die? It doesn't sound rational, but from some of the things she's heard, there's a pattern forming. and she really doesn't like it. Currently, her brings something up and into her bag. And currently their actions are Deku. He does sit there right now as Big Chilled. Him, intangible, and flying forwards into the fridge. Currently, Kai bring her hand up as Deku comes through the back of it. Currently, him bring his hand up and going to somewhat flick over one of the cans. Kai turning her head and watching that currently gonna move forwards and fall off. Her watching it hit the ground and goes to say, "Damn it!" Her bending down. And Izuku, he was just gonna knock over another one. Her looking back up and staring at that. And their actions of Deku would bring his hand down. Him going to turn his hand tangible slightly and grab the can. Currently, him going to make a sound. As there actually is where Kai would have turned her head. Her hearing that and a bit confused. Deku phasing through the fridge into the side. Currently, him reappearing and shouting, "Boo!" And Kai would make a turn. Her screaming out as there actually is Mina, who does this won't laugh. And Kai would a turn. Her staring at Deku for a minute and gonna yell at him. And then actually is where Kai would a turn. Grabbing one of the cans and gonna turn chucking it at Deku. And Deku would a turn intangible. It flying through the ship and smashing into the wall, cracking open as it flies towards the ground. And Deku, he just won't talk about it, after busting out laughing a bit. She should have seen her face. Though, he's gonna go get food while he's out. What? I'm going to go get something to eat. You want anything? Actually, first of all, fuck you. Second, that does sound good. Currently, her gonna want to express a few suggestions. And she doesn't bring up the idea of trying to scare Bakugo. And Deku, he does have one idea, but he knows that if it does go wrong, Bakugo is going to flip his shit. Now, we do currently have Izuku, who does go to fly away. They talk about it a bit. And currently Izuku, while he is on the clock, he does want to pick up some food. Currently him gonna head out to a place, transform back into a human, and then go at least buy some stuff. Currently him picking it up as the person that just won't stare at Izuku. And Deku, while he just won't stand there, he does look at a few things. Make sure that the food is in the bag and all fine. And we do actually have somebody nearby who would go to stare at Izuku and watch him. Currently them watching Deku turn and run over to an alleyway. Him bringing his hand up to his bag. Currently Deku bringing out his board and setting it down. Stepping onto it and gonna fly away. Currently the person trying to at least follow Izuku and see where he's at. And what they do to make their way into the alleyway, Deku's gone. And this, it does want to annoy them. Currently them trying to figure this all out. And we do actually have Izuku himself, currently flying through the air on his board. He's trying to at least clear his head. Going out for a fly every now and again is one hell of a good way to do it. And Deku, he does try to keep his balance. Doing this was hard, but now he's gotten better at it. I mean, hell. Trying to do it a little tipsy though, especially when he's never had alcohol, that's a little bit more challenging. And Deku, he does have some fun. Currently, him even trying to do a bit more of a dive. Currently, Deku flying down a bit fast and coming in a little hot. Deku bringing his foot back and leaning backwards. Currently, the board slowing down as Deku he would somewhat jump off, taking his left foot down and putting weight onto the board. Him bringing his right hand as he grab the board and come flying up. And currently, he has to somewhat walk fast and trying to slow himself down. Currently, Deku stopping his momentum and talking about it, holding up a bag of food. And there actually is where Bakugo, he does his own stand there. him with a few rocks, talking about it. You know, if he was gonna go get something, he should have said something. Hell no. Hmm? What do you mean? You were out gathering rocks. Besides, don't want to scratch or press his car. Hmm? Hey, that car is worth more than your life. Really, Bakugo? I'm just saying, that car has far more alien tech than he thinks. Besides, he's seen it in action, and that's why he won't drive it again. Boo hoo. Anyways, hungry? Bakugo sitting there. Currently, him looking at the fire he had to make because swamp fire wasn't available. Though, he's not complaining. One night without smelling that stuff? Hoo-wee. He'll take it. And currently Deku does pass out the food. Everybody talking about a few things and trying to just have a bit more fun. And the alcohol, it does continue to flow. Currently them making their way more and more through that bottle. And we do actually have a lot later. It's around 2, maybe 3 in the morning. None of them were really paying attention. They just talked. Bakugo at some point started talking about his car. He even talked about a few of his adventures out in space. Stuff he's been very tight-lipped about. And it is nice. Deku even talked about some of their plumber training. Mina brought a few things up. And fact was, they just felt like they were human, in the best way of saying it. Mina felt normal. This made her more comfortable. It gave her something else to focus on. And Deku, he just didn't know what to say. This was what they were fighting for. Moments like this. Shooting the shit with your friends. Talking with them. Having them there. It just felt natural. No. It felt normal. And he hasn't felt normal in a very long time. And right now it felt like that. Ironically, it felt weird. And that, it's really saying something. Especially because he's basically transformed into a god. Or Alien X, as he calls it. A celestial sapien? If he has his word right? Yeah, whatever. Currently Deku, finding himself laying on top of the ship again, still looking at the stars. There are countless worlds out there. I mean, in the Milky Way alone, there's gotta be trillions. But in the entirety of the universe, there's gotta be way more than trillions. He just can't really gather his thoughts right now. He can't focus. It's nice. When his mind is cloudy like this, he just gets to lay here and enjoy it. Relax, not feel stressed, not feel the way he wants to feel. Panicky? Maybe. Though, tomorrow they're gonna figure a few things out. He's got to decide something. Take the fight to the aliens. Take the fight to the hybrids. Begin the process of hunting them down. Finding out more. Get a jump on this whole invasion thing. Find their main base and destroy it. Either get them brought in or do something else. Kill them? It's an idea Izuku doesn't like to think about. He's already taken out one hybrid life. But that man? No, not a man. That creature. It didn't see him as a person. It saw him as a lesser creature than that, like how he might see an ant, something in his way, something that if it does bite back, it could easily destroy. That's how that thing must have saw him, and it does have him concerned. He wants to try something, but it could be risky. Maybe they could fix the plumbers, but even then, if they try that, that's even riskier. Currently, Mina coming to float up, her right on a platform, asking Izuku, going to actually lay down on the ship. If he's okay, fine, just didn't didn't know how much I could handle. Yeah, I get it. Trust me. Honestly, that stuff tastes a little crappy or bad. I don't know how people can drink that stuff. Yeah. You know, you're being all mythical right now. Hmm? Mythical? My- mystical? Mystical. Sorry, I should probably go to bed. Honestly, going to bed sounds good. Great, even. So it's been a very long day. You're telling me. Right. We're going to sit up and going to at least try and be a little bit more serious. Ask Nizuku if he thinks they can handle it. Hmm? We're going to sit up and turning to Mina. And he was going to tell her. He wants to believe that. You sound sure. I'm not. That's the thing. I've handled. We have handled things. We've tried. But now we don't have really a lot of support. I've got ideas. Right, but how about we hold that for tomorrow? Her looking up. Trying to at least ask if he wants to change the subject. Uh, I can. No. Never mind. Hmm? What is it? Deku is on his turn. Look at Mina. Before bringing his hand up. Telling her. He has one idea. Though, she needs to look at him. What is it? Deku's going to lean forwards and give her a kiss. And Mina, she just doesn't pull back. Her looking at Deku a little bit more surprised. And Deku, he just doesn't back away. Him giving a bit of a smile. And Mina stares at him before going to turn. Her face turning a bit red. And Deku, he just doesn't sit there. Him talking about it. It's something. Hmm? Why? You're drunk. Maybe. Though, maybe you're right. No, what were you going to say? Her eyes don't turn. Her face still red. Her hands a little shaky. And Deku, he just don't turn. Him jumping down from the aircraft and going to land. Mina looking down and going to this scoot over. Her scooting down, talking about it. What was he going to say? He just can't kiss her and run. Deku looking up and going to give a bit of a smile. And Mina she gets a bit more annoyed by that. She's. He. They. Her, right now, goes out and sit there, with a lot in her mind. And Deku, he's at a walk inside the aircraft. Currently, him heading back to his room. And Mina sits there right now trying to ponder it. Trying to think about that. Deku let her know. He her bringing her hands up and putting one of her fingers under her lips. He does like her. Her is just a little bit more surprised. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.